We're now going to get into legs and straps. So I'm going to talk you through how to get into your legs and straps. You can see what Linda's doing. She's always putting her straps back on the hoops before. She doesn't drop them down. You don't want to drop them down. So she's way ahead of herself here. So she's straightened out one leg. She takes her big loop and then hooks it over her foot. And that's quite important so that you've got enough rope length there. Then that leg will then hold you in place so that you can then lift up that right leg or whatever leg you've not done. So look, Linda, let your right leg just float up. Look, she's not moving because that left strap is holding her in place. Then she just hooks that over her other foot and she is cooking. Okay. Now, some of you will find that quite scary the first time you do that. Now, your headdress will be down, but if it wasn't, we would remind you at this point to put your headdress down. Basically, anytime you are in danger of or going to be lifting your bum off the mat, your headdress will always be down. So just to make you aware of that. Now, in this position, this is your legs and straps series. Linda has got her bum down onto the mat. Her shoulders are back and down. She's lengthening through her head. Her core is on, she's switched on, and her toes are in a pointed position or a plantar flex position, and that will help keep her straps on that little bit better. And then all she's going to do to start with, she breathes in to prepare, and then as she exhales, she lowers her legs down a bit and then back up. And we usually say about a 45-degree angle down, so we'll show you that's about a 45-degree angle there, and then she brings it back without lifting her bum up. Now, as she does that, she wants to make sure that she's contracting the muscles in the back of her legs and also the adductors, those muscles in the inner thighs. And this is really effective for releasing those paraspinal muscles, getting your whole posterior chain, the back of the hamstrings, right up through your spine, your lower back, released. And if you have tightness in your body there, you will really feel that it's quite challenging. Now, Linda's got quite a lot of flexibility. She's been doing this a long time. She's very effective at it. But when you come in, you may feel a wee bit like a fish out of water, and that's okay. You're not alone. Now, from here, what she's going to then do is go into, and I just want to say before we go on, Linda, take your legs lower down just to demonstrate where we don't want the legs to go. Right, so we never want your legs to go down that low, and I know we're doing something we shouldn't do, but it's just to show you what we mean. And so come out of that now, Linda. Purely just because you're at risk of seesawing the carriage that you're on. So don't ever take your legs too low, and especially if you're taller, you're more at risk of that. Let's go into leg circles. So leg circles is a big part of your leg series. So what Linda's going to do there is she's just basically starting to move her legs round in a controlled manner. Now, this will again be quite difficult for some of you when you have lack of flexibility. You want to again keep your sacrum, your tailbone area down onto the mat. So that flat ridge of your bum, it's not like the fleshy bit of your bum, it's that flat bit of the lower back we're talking about. That stays down onto the mat. And your hip bones, so Linda, demonstrate where your hip bones are. So this is what's known as your ASIS, your anterior iliac spine. And it's that front bit of your pelvis that you want to keep it nice and level and stable, right? So your hip bones, basically. What you don't want, Linda, do some shaky hip action as you do circles, is see how she's all out, she's all over the place there, right? And the whole hips are going, the legs are, oh my goodness, she's had a few too many gins there, clearly. Right, so what we're talking about when we say a stable pelvis is that we don't want your pelvis rocking and rolling like Linda was doing there. And then we'll get into frogs from there, Linda. So the heels are together and she goes into essentially a rotated hip position. She bends the knees towards her torso, pushes out at a 45-degree angle, drawing her inner thighs together, squeezing from her buttocks, from her sit bones as she goes through that. She's exhaling as she pushes the carriage and she pushes the straps away from her, inhaling as she returns in. Her arms are back and down. She's nice.